The Game of Life by Talbot Fenton of Leichhardt 2040. Narrated by Janine Penfold. Sue had been playing bridge for several years now and thought she was at last getting the hang of it. Tuesday morning sessions at the local club had provided plenty of regular practice. Today, though, playing with a different partner was on the cards, as her husband Tony wasn't well and had a doctor's appointment. He could have put that off perhaps, but he had a medical issue that was worrying him. Her friend Joy was rather slow at bidding, which tested Sue's patience, even though she knew Joy had only been playing for a short time. Anyway, it was a temporary situation, as Tony would be back next week, raring to go again. As the director leaned across Sue to place the new bridge boards on the table, she asked him, in a low voice, "Just how many Hawaiian shirts do you own, Les?" He answered without missing a beat, 4.5. Seeing the puzzled look on her face, he added, 4.5 wardrobes full, that is. Sue had to smile. She'd seen about 20 different hibiscus pattern shirts of various bright colour combos on Les's back in the last 6 months. He described bridge as the only non-contact blood sport. When Sue first sat at the card table after her lessons, she had seen it that way too. Yes, it could be disappointing, even embarrassing, not to score well. But Sue had learnt not to take the game too seriously, unlike some of the other club members she played against. She conceded that it was a game you could find addictive. But Sue was there to enjoy the day, as well as improve her card play. She was fascinated by a pastime that constantly challenged her and provided the chance for social interaction. Few words were spoken during games, but there was a camaraderie amongst the regular attendees. Nevertheless, some of the diehards never cracked a smile. Was the game so joyless for them? Oh well, it was their loss, if they didn't want to connect for even a brief moment. Sue reminded herself that these players may have other challenges in their lives. At present, things were going well for her and her family. Their sons had grown up and made great lives for themselves. Plenty of love oiled their wheels. How good was that? As Sue finished the first session and went to the kitchen to make herself a cup of instant coffee, that always kept her concentration up. She felt her phone vibrate. No interruptions were needed at bridge. Why hadn't she turned it off beforehand? Cup in hand, she moved to a quiet corner to see who had texted her. Reading the message, Sue felt a chill inside. Tony had seen his specialist, and further elaborate tests were ordered. Hopefully not a recurrence of Tony's previous struggle with cancer. She tried to dismiss her concerns, telling herself to let them go for the moment. Time to apply herself again to the game in hand. She'd worked out how to support herself when times were tough in life. Be a friend to yourself. Talk to yourself as you would to a friend or partner who was upset by a situation. It's okay. I'm okay, and Tony will be okay too. Even if we get bad news again, we'll see it through together. Others could offer her support, but she knew that one of life's biggest challenges was to learn to empower yourself. To keep positive, to feel capable and grounded took regular practice, just like playing bridge. Sue completed the rounds of bridge and thanked Joy for standing in for Tony. She headed for the cosy cafe around the corner, where she and Tony often had lunch after bridge, usually feeling good about their morning's results and ready for a yummy meal. Today certainly felt different. Just a cup of tea would do at present. At the table, Sue rang Tony and they discussed his medical appointment and further tests. He was feeling shaky. Life wasn't fair. So many variables no one can control. Just listening to the news at night told her that. They always appreciated having their home in such a safe, well-resourced country with a high standard of living. Now, in retirement, after lots of ups and downs, they were just so comfortable and contented together. Sue's conversation with Tony finished with reassuring words to each other. Suddenly, the cafe door was flung open and Les came in, laughing and joking with two teenage boys. Sue remembered that he had two grandsons at high school and it was holiday time at present. Ah, the enthusiasm, energy, joie de vivre and freshness of youth. Sue always enjoyed these qualities. She'd observed them often at the bus stop. Young people moved swiftly, were keen to try new things, stood up straight and smiled a lot. They could be noisy too, but they would settle down more in the future. She recalled her own teenage years when she wasn't sure of herself yet and took herself quite seriously. Underneath this bravado, Sue felt they were probably just like that too. It took time to work out your values in life. "Hi, Les. Got your hands full there," Sue exclaimed. "Yes, it's a relief after bridge. We always have fun together. These are my favourite boys, Tom and Noah," said Les, as his grandson started to peruse the menu. Sue said goodbye and drove home. She mused over the advantages of age. Wisdom and experience were winners. Also, the ability to laugh at yourself, remaining cheerful, yet realistic in the face of adversity. We're all bound up in our own little world and issues. Just like in a game of bridge, we'll take on challenges, but meet them as best we can and learn on the job. Sue opened the front door. She and Tony hugged in silence. Life, an amazing, unique experience for them both, no matter what the future. The end.